Hey, what's going on, guys? Here at Galaxy Games with Mike Shaw, who is going to be profiling his Go-Go Power Rangers deck, aka Super Quantums. So go ahead and take it away, man.
Okay, so first off, the key to this deck is Super Quantum Fairy Alpha. This guy's really good. He's like a Boar's piece. So this guy, you summon him, and then you contribute him off. He's got like a Boar's effect. You can reveal 3 Super Quant dudes from your main deck with different levels. So you have 4 targets for that. And then one of them is randomly summoned. The rest go to the graveyard. And so that's how you start some of your plays. Also, his second effect, you can target one other Super Quant monster you have on the field. Every other monster you control is that level now.
Ooh, that's really nice.
Had I run a Trishula, that'd be cool if I was like, okay, I'll have my blue layer here, him on board, and then, you know, like something else.
Yeah, make them all threes. Go
like a tuner, I'll just make them all threes and go into Trish. That would have been sexy, but I didn't have a master deck for that. Cause I did try that before. It was fun.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So you got the 3 alpha. Then after that, 3 blue layer. When this guy's summoned, he searches out a Super Quant card, usually the field spell, depending on the situation. Otherwise, if you have it in hand, another monster. Then when he's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle up to 3 Super Quant cards from your graveyard back into the deck. So it helps if you have all your XZ dudes in the grave, just recycle those.
Yeah.
In general, it's pretty good. After that, you run 3 of the green dude. This guy's your level 4 target. When he's summoned, you can special summon another Super Quant card from your hand. So usually, you either want to get another one of him for the rank 4 play. I like getting the red layer off of that. That way, it's an easy, I have my red layer on board finally.
Yeah.
Or just the alpha so you can have a cantrip and try to get something. After that, 3 of the red layer. When he's summoned, you get to add one from your deck to your... from your graveyard to your hand.
Yep.
And then when he's sent to the graveyard, you get to get one from the graveyard back. That's
Except
not
for
him,
himself. Yep.
and its effects cannot activate. And so that part's a little bit of a shame. Also, when green layer is sent to the graveyard, I forgot to mention, you get to discard a Super Quant card to draw a card. So that can help you out with the bad hand sometimes.
Right.
Moving on with some of my level 5s I run, there's 2 overlay boosters. This guy's really good. If you have a red layer on board already, then, like, if you have anything with 2,000 or more attack, you just special summon him right off the bat. So that helps out with your rank 5 plays a lot, because after the ban list hit us with the limiting upstart and chicken game and all that good stuff like reasoning, that's the hardest part to get out. So this guy helped me get around that. Made it a whole lot more consistent. And then also I run 1 Dr. Frankenderp.
Shoutouts to Team Derpcore with this one. That's your card, bro.
Yeah. This guy, he's an E-Tele target, which was really cool. Also, I mean, Tyler told me to run him because when he's summoned, you get to pay 500 life points and look at the top card of your deck. You can either add it to your hand if you like it, but you'll skip your next draw phase. But when you have towers out, you don't care about that. And if you don't like it, you get to bottom deck it. This guy, believe it or not, won me at least 2 games at regional events when I played, because I had like a blue layer and an E-Tele in hand, and like I couldn't really do anything other than that. So I normal summon my blue layer, took a card out of the deck. It was a field spell, I think. Then I would E-Tele out him. And like every time that happens, I'm like top decking in a Brilliant Fusion. So I'm like, yeah, I'll add this to hand. I'm just gonna go nuts from here.
Wow.
So this guy saves me a lot of games.
Ultimate luck sack card, it seems.
Yeah, I love cantripping. Then also I run 1 Trick Clown. I mean, you get to discard with your field spell, so he gets summoned back, or send him with Brilliant Fusion. It makes rank 4s easier. Half the time I didn't even use the green layer when I made a rank 4 play. And also 1 Tourmaline. Send that to the graveyard with Brilliant Fusion first. And then with Obsidian, when he's sent to the graveyard from your hand, you get to special summon Tourmaline back from the graveyard. So that was a real nice help, just getting him back. Again, not needing to use the green layer for rank 4 plays.
Now, just out of curiosity, how often would you pull off like a second Brilliant Fusion play with this deck?
I mean, you can only use the 1 Brilliant Fusion per turn.
Right.
And I only run the 1 Seraphonite. So after I hit the first time, it was a dead draw. But I'd rather be able to see it as soon as I can opening hand, rather than anything else.
Oh, okay. So then how do you get like the normal to grave to then like bring back off of Obsidian then?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because with the field spell, you can discard a card to target any of your 3 main Power Rangers. You got the red, the green, and the blue. And you get to essentially rank them up into their respective color XZ.
Yeah.
So this guy would be in hand, and you just discard him to target any of these guys. Hopefully not the green dude. And then you go an XZ play off of that, and then he's activating to bring back this dude from the grave, and then you're overlaying for there. So that way you save another discard, because it's just free card economy from that.
And that came up a good bit of times to be able to get Obsidian off?
It doesn't come up too often, but when it does, it helps out a whole lot.
Okay.
We're here in these tropical islands.
And you feel like you only need 2 of the field spell because it's pretty easily searchable?
Yeah, you can search off a blue layer, and you don't want to open up more than that.
Right.
Like opening up 3 field spell, you just want to kind of commit the ritual act of seppuku on the table. Also, how the field spell works is you can tribute it off, target 3 of the Super Quant XZ dudes, either on board or in the graveyard, and then you overlay them with the Mechazord, and he gains all their materials and all that good stuff. We'll get more into him later on and get to the extra deck. So, also a lot of times people try to Solemn Warning the field spell or something, but Solemn Warning doesn't act or stop the effective spell. It's only the spell's activation. So you activate this, it's not doing anything to summon something, so they can't Solemn that.
Right.
Then when you tribute it off, that's just the effect of it. Solemn Warning's not going to hit that either.
Right.
So it gets through a lot of stuff.
Yep.
That's real helpful. I like a non-Solemnable Megazord. I mean, please towers. You could solemn that for days. So that was the whole Super Quant core mainly. After that, you run the 3 Brilliant Fusion, just to get that Seraphonite, and then the extra normal summons helping out a whole lot. And then 3 Instant Fusion. You either go for Norden to get guys back, excuse me, or there's the Panzer Dragon, or a level 3 fusion, if you need to make a certain play with those ranks. One upstart, because you need as much consistency as you can with this deck, and you really don't care if you give your opponent 1,000 life points.
Right.
3 Into the Void, because again you need consistency. When you have this in hand, you normally have at least 3 other cards. Let's be real, you're not going to dump your hand and then say, oh, I have it Into the Void. You're going to have it Into the Void, activate it, then start going off.
Now, have you found the downside at the end phase of having to discard your hand to be, like, troublesome?
I mean, the few times it is troublesome, usually I'm getting killed anyway, so the next turn having 1 card in hand is not going to make any difference.
Yeah, this is a card that can possibly help you get to those combos that'll help you win. And if you don't get to it, you probably would have lost with or without it.
Right.
Okay.
So I mean, it's in general, I would say about 90% of the time it's going to help you.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just going to cry anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you had 3 upstarts, 3 chicken games, it probably would be that over into the void.
Definitely. It was a whole lot more consistent with that too, but
Right.
I mean, it's not too bad. Also, reasoning getting hit. I mean, I still play the 1 because most of the time they're not going to call it right. If you're able to get the alpha off of it, it's just the nuts. But yeah, reasoning's pretty good in there. It's usually never dead. If something goes to the graveyard, you'll still get effects.
Yeah.
1 for 1 gets alpha out of the deck, and with him filling up your grave and then getting other dudes helps out a whole lot. A 1 day a piece, because I don't want to lose if I can't, make a Megazord turn 1. Son, what are you doing?
Thank you, Thirsty Hursty.
I'm kind of sad this wasn't an Ultra. I
Yeah.
tried to have my buddy Tyler lend it, or his Ultra one before the event, but that was a no-go. So I still have my rare.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the 1 day a piece, it's hilarious when I'm going first. I'll be like, activate 1 day a piece past turn because I see my hand's kind of crappy. And, people will set up a board like, oh, well, here's my 2 Dark Destroyers and a Slip Rider, yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, they're not going to do anything with this board. So then you just go off the next turn and you just whoop them.
Yep.
Nothing's more satisfying than that.
Then giving them a good whooping.
2 E-Telly to get your blue layer or a Frankenderp out of the deck.
If you played good decks, though, you would just slip and slide all over them.
Bam, I'm doing a profile.
Slip and slide like Slip Rider.
Slip and slide. Neptibus.
2 Feast of the Wild level 5. I thought about running this card when I first built the deck, and then I never got around to it. But then when I added the... what's that dude's name? I don't even know my own cards. Overlay Booster into this.
Yeah.
This became a lot more relevant. If you don't know what this card is, you can special summon up to 2 level 5 warrior type monsters from your hand and or graveyard, but their effects are negated and they can't attack. So, you know, when you have your stuff in the graveyard because you're discarding it off to summon to rank up other dudes, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get them all back. Or like, say your cantrip miss with alpha, you have like a stupid green layer on board. You can use this to get your red layer out of the graveyard, then rank up from there. So I'm really glad I added this in finally. 1 soul charge. This wins games. That's all there is to it. Activate alpha, dump your grave, soul charge, you pretty much win after that.
Yeah.
Message in a bottle. This card, you can target 3 monsters with different levels from your graveyard. You get to special summon all of them, and their attacks are 0. If you don't XZ summon this turn, you're kind of boned. But you're normally going to XZ summon the turn you do this.
Yeah.
The problem with this is, that most people don't realize, is you can only XZ summon after you activate this. So you can still rank up using the field spell, but it never says on the tributing effect to get the Megazord out that that's counted as an XZ summon. So you can't tribute off the field spell the turn you activate Message in a Bottle. But you can just get a board of your 3 XZ monsters out. And have to wait a turn.
Right, because like ranking up into him or using that field spell isn't a proper XZ summon. It's just a
Well,
summon
the
back.
discarding to target a monster does count as an XZ summon.
Okay.
That's the only part that it does.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't realize that this can bone you if you don't play it right. So I've never had to cheat with it and do that, but I mean, if my opponent didn't realize it and I'm just having a bad day and I forget myself, I'm not going to go back and say, oh, whoops, I can't do that. And then finally, the 1 trap. I mean, I like this because in the Monarch matchup, if they have Domain on board and attribute summon a monster, then if for whatever reason I don't shuffle away their Domain or something, they can just suicide with my Megazord and then be able to make plays after that. What the trap does, you can target a Super Quant XZ dude you control and equip it to him. It gains rank equal to its level times 100. So you're going from a 3600 to a 4800 because he's rank 12. And that's just hard to deal with in general. Also, you can send this to the graveyard. This guy can make 3 attacks. So you got your 4800 beating down any monster in the way, and then 2 more attacks with 3600. Most people, they can't compete with that.
Yeah.
They're just going to lose. So that was my main deck. Now moving on to the extra deck. I run 2 of each of the Power Ranger
Megazords.
mechs, Megazords, whatever they're called.
Especially the Super Ultra Mega Chicken Zord
Yeah, Super
Towers
Chicken.
guy.
Who cares? Neptibus is better.
So with Towers guy, he can shuffle away Neptibus at instant speed.
Hashtag salvage.
Yes.
He gets different effects based on the amount of materials attached or equipped to him. So if there are 2 or more, I believe, it's been a while, I always have like 7. Yeah, 2 or more. During either player's turn, you get to detach a material and then shuffle 1 card on the board back into the deck without targeting. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a Cloud Mojo, but it doesn't vanish. It's like an Ignister on instant speed. We'll say that.
Yeah.
And then 4 more materials. He becomes Towers. He's not affected by other cards except Super Quant cards. So that makes a mirror match interesting when I'm trying to, use the red layer to blow him up or like the green layer to Book of Moon him. That still is all. It's all good. Mm-hmm. But like everything else is a no-go.
Yeah.
And then 6 or more. your opponent can't add cards from the deck to their hand by card effects. So your opponent can't upstart or mulligan with Cosmo Town or none of that good stuff. So he just puts you on a lockdown. You gotta deal with what you got, and you're kind of screwed at that point.
Yeah.
And then when he's sent to the graveyard, you get to target 3 Super Quant dudes from your graveyard, special summon them back. So you can get like a wall of the mechs or whatever, and you're Gucci at that point. Then we have the red layer. With all the Super Quant XCs, they can't attack if they don't have any materials.
Right.
And then they can activate their effects at instant speed if they... That's a magic term. At spell speed 2, if they have the corresponding color mech equipped to them, attached, whatever the word is.
Yeah.
So like if you have the red layer attached to him, then during either player's turn, you get to pop a monster on board. And then during your turn, you're able to attach a Super Quant monster to him as a material. This guy, he's a Book of Moon. And then again, it's spell speed 2, booking, all that good stuff. If you have the green layer equipped. And then this guy here, he's an Alucard. So you're just like blowing up back row before you go use the field spell to make the big dude, because nothing hurts worse than an MST when you're about to try to summon your Megazord.
Yeah. It's a little bit better than Alucard, though, because you can destroy any spell or trap, right? Not just set ones.
Yeah, and the card doesn't have to stay set like it did with Alucard.
Right.
Also, 28's a lot more defense than Alucard had.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they have the same attack stat.
Yeah. So it's a nice booty to sit on.
Yeah, he's real nice. Also, the being able to equip Super Quants as XZ materials comes in handy a lot. Like, let's say I make him without using the green layer originally. I just have a green layer on board. I'll be able to attach it as a material, get more room on my board,
Right.
and then finally be able to get Megazord with even more materials.
Right.
It's disgusting at that point.
Yeah.
Also, it's a way to get your fairy as a material, again, just for more names.
Yeah.
And with him, it's just any material with a different name, not just Super Quants.
Right.
So, Seraph Knight, Norden, Trick Clown, all those help boosting his number.
Yeah.
So that's it with the Super Quant part of the extra deck. Again, I only run 2 of each because I can have 1 in the extra deck and then 1 in the graveyard, and then when blue layer is sent, I can just refill it.
Yeah.
So it's no worry. Also, I want usually 1 in there of each, so that way if I have 1 Megazord out, I'll just be putting a beat down on my opponent, and I'll just windmill a field spell and tribute it off to get a second one out.
Right.
Which I think is good.
Yeah.
Utopia, I only use him to go into the lightning. This guy is an Armades with 5k attack when he's battling.
Yep.
There's not much more you can ask for than that.
All right.
Then 1 giant hand, I usually don't go into him because I don't need to. Although, one time I had a godly opening, I ended up with a Megazord with 7 materials and the giant hand and the trap card set. So, it was just GG after that.
Yeah, who's breaking that board?
It was difficult, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I won that game.
Yep.
And then for the fusion monsters, I went from 1 Panzer Dragon for the rank 5s, 1 Cherubin, is that what it's called? It's Spanish, I don't know.
I play water decks, not stupid power decks.
Salt confirmed.
I'm sorry, this is a foreign language, I don't know what it's called. I was
He's a
just
level
looking.
3 fusion guy.
He's a level 3
Running
fusion.
captain or something?
No, he's a vanilla. I just spec'd him because I was looking through the bulk box of the fusion section, and in the level 3 vanilla section, he was the only one that was first ed LOB.
Yeah.
And so I had to go with that. And then
Dodge bottomless.
he does dodge bottomless. And then I had to get an English translation, which I've since lost.
So you want mine?
Uh,
Oh yeah,
I'll
did
be
you?
fine. So I have a level 3 fusion due to his name I don't know.
Yeah.
Then 1 Norden. You know, because he's Norden, you get to make rank 4 plays. He's good. And then 1 Seraph Knight, because extra normal summons are good. He's a rank 5 for your rank. He's level 5 to make your rank 5 plays. He's just all around pretty nice.
Yep.
And that's it for my extra deck.
All right.
Moving on to my sideboard. I'm actually missing my 3 MSTs.
Cherubin the Fire Knight.
Yep, that
Thanks
is
for
his
the
English
translation.
name.
You want it?
Thank you, Tyler
Yes,
Hooper.
please.
Here
Thank
you go,
you.
Tim. It's not first ed.
That's okay. My translation wasn't either. I should have 3 MSTs in here. I'm not sure where I put them,
All right,
but
we'll just kind of skim over those
yeah.
then.
So other than that, there's 12 cards in here now. I have 2 Ghost Ogres just to blow up stuff that's trying to do stuff like, you know, like a monkey board. I'll just Ghost Ogre that. I don't want them searching.
Yep.
You know. 2 Maxis because if I'm going second, I want to see this in my opening hand against an opponent. So that way they're all like, okay, I'm going to go ham. I'm going to like Maxi. You just guarantee the towers at this point.
Yeah.
Speaking of Maxi, it's funny. At the Columbus regional I played this in, freaking game 1, I was playing against PK Fire, and I took the Maxi challenge. He had like a full hand. It was disgusting. But I had a towers with 8 or 9 materials or something. I don't know. So he was slow playing for days. I'm all like, dude, pick it up, hurry along, you're slow playing. He's like, no, my turns are under 3 minutes, that's okay. I'm like, that's not the definition of slow play, but I don't care at this point. I'm going to beat you anyway. So he just set up a wall, because he was playing PK Fire, that's all they do. And I could win the war of attrition, because I'm like, oh, it's a nice Beatrice you got there. I'm going to shuffle away your board, and then poke through. And we go into time game 1 because this kid doesn't know how to play his deck at a fast pace. And so he's still slow playing, but we're in time, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'm just like slowly whittling him down. I have the field spell in hand this whole time. So like he makes something, and I'll detach one of the XE materials that are like the XE monsters from my Power Ranger.
And shuffle it away.
Yeah, so I get to shuffle something away.
Yep.
And then I have my dudes in the graveyard. So it was pretty cool. And so then the last turn, he was up by like 800 life points or something. I'm all like, normal summon blue layer, search for a card, play my field spell, discard rank up blue layer, tribute the field spell, make a second Megazord with 4 materials. So I got 2 stupid dudes who are 3600 and are unaffected by stuff. And I just beat him in the dick.
That's one way to say it.
I try to say this gives piercing too.
Yeah.
So 4800 with piercing
That can attack 3 times.
is disgusting.
Yeah.
It wins games. They're like, I'm gonna have a wall. I'm gonna flip my traps card and just kill you through it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, you're playing Escape with the Stormy? Yeah, I'll do 48 times 3 on you.
So these are what I mainly saw when I'm going second.
Yep.
Also Maxi if I'm playing against Monarchs. I really don't need any of these against that matchup. I'd rather see a MST to blow up a domain. And then for the Cosmo matchup, I have 2 system downs and 1 Gamma Seal.
Alti system down. It's very nice.
Yeah, I would have had a 3rd Alti system down, but the dude I was trading with had 2 first ed and 1 unlimited, so I said I don't want the unlimited, that's ugly. And so I decided to compromise for a Gamma Seal.
Yeah.
So if anyone has an Alti first ed system down, I'm interested.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm content with him. I like them just to, you can tribute over a tin can, so they're not going to tag out, get slip right, blow up your field spell,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. So Gamma Seal actually is more, a 2-in-1 ratio gives you more versatility.
Yeah, because with the system down, if they're just sitting on a pilot, you have to wait for them. You have to bait them into tagging out before you can really
Yeah, a good
use
player is
system down.
going to have a pilot on board in the first few turns, and you don't usually keep a ship on board just to avoid system down.
Right.
So yeah, these are for the Cosmo matchup. Depending how I was feeling, I decide I'm in or not. I mean, sometimes Maxi was more helpful than others. So I was going first against him. Usually I was siding in a Solemn and a Strike against the Cosmos because they really can't do anything after you try to tag out and they get Solemned. So this was pretty helpful. I mean, I know I'm not gaining advantage, but I'm crippling my opponent at the same time, so it was worth it.
Is that my German soul morning?
It is, but it's my German Solemn Warning.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And then 3 Masker Restrict.
Ultras.
Yeah, not first ed. The first one I got from my buddy Jack, it was unlimited, so I didn't want to.
You had to go all unlimited.
I didn't want to
from there.
get 2 first ed and then have to match it because first of all, they were twice as much money for first ed.
Yeah.
But mainly it's match sets.
Right.
Yeah.
And the free MST that are missing, of course.
Yeah,
Make it
and the
15.
Yeah, that's my Super Quant deck. I hope you like it, and I hope somebody wants to say, I want to build this and have just as much fun as Mike Shaw did.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, this is my favorite deck. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I've been playing Burning Abyss since New Challengers. That was when Virgil was around.
Yep.
Yeah, and then, I still like the deck, but come on, it's not Power Rangers.
It is not Power Rangers with a Super Ultra Megazord that's Towers 2.0. Gotta love it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Mike Shaw, for the deck profile. I'll actually leave a link in the description below to Team Derp Course channel so you can see Dr. Frankenderp in the flesh.
Hashtag Yu-Gi-Oh! Monday.
Yeah. Bring that back. Catch you guys next time.